your manifestations feel like they're taking so long to come, like when are they coming? Then today I'm going to share the most elegant way to speed things up. In today's video, I'm going to share the top 4 things that are actually slowing your manifestation down, and the best part, how to change this all. So get ready to write down some notes, because this is the video that's really going to finally make you understand why your manifestations seem to be taking forever. First thing slowing down your manifestation is your nervous system doesn't feel safe to receive or hold on to money. Now, last week I did a video all about this, so I won't go into this deeply, but a regulated nervous system around money equals faster manifestation because it's not resisting what you want. You know, I can just give you one example from my life. When I was a little girl, around 8 years old, I lived in one of the biggest homes in our town. We weren't necessarily rich, but my parents really enjoyed large homes, and my father built that house with his bare hands. So anyway, one day I had a bunch of neighborhood kids over. I had never had them over to my house, and we had such a fun time playing. The very next day, we had gone to go get my brand new puppy, and we came home with our brand new puppy so happy, only to find out that our home had been broken into. It was just one of the most highs to lows feeling. The police finally came and they said that it was those kids because they had come through a basement window, Anyway, the story doesn't exactly matter, but when those traumatic things happen to you, it doesn't just go through your mind of like being a little bit scared and like, gosh, I'm glad they didn't take a lot, and I'm glad we're okay, and I'm glad they didn't ruin the house. Those thoughts go through your mind too, but what you don't realize that's happening in that very moment is on a physical body level is remembering everything about this situation. You can't trust people, so be aware, be scared, be hypervigilant of who you bring over. Don't showcase your wealth too much. Like, the body is already figuring out ways to never let you feel this way again and to keep you safe. It's also making you feel things on an emotional level. I mean, I went from dreaming about having this little puppy to having him there, and it was such a conflicting day for me because I was so happy, and yet I was frightened and I was disillusioned, and I never processed any of that. In fact, my family never really even talked about that whole experience. And so that stays running in you. And that just moved throughout my whole life, that every time that I would get a little bit of money, something would happen to let it go because I didn't feel safe. I could tell you a whole other thing about that, and I'll maybe save that for another video. But this pattern in my life of doing the internal work and doing the mental work and doing the spiritual work to bring in money, and then something happening to make something go away, to make bills come in, to make an opportunity that you thought was coming in just vanish, making me sabotage something, simply because I hadn't healed on one of my levels, which was this physical and emotional level. So my body literally did not feel safe. And I encourage you to think about, what is your body's relationship with money? How do you feel when you think of having wealth? I mean, we all think that we would get excited if a bunch of money came in, but truly think about it. If you had a lot of money, what would be the negative part of you having that money? Would people take advantage of you? Would people charge you more just because you had money and you would have trust issues? Would you spend it all because it doesn't feel comfortable? You wouldn't want to have more money than your family. It would make you feel vulnerable to be fully seen. I mean, go there, because that is the beautiful recognition of what's going on one layer of your being with regards to money. Okay, let's move on to the second thing that is slowing down your manifestation. Many people are walking around saying how they want to have abundance, they want to have prosperity, they want to have more freedom to do things, to buy things, to be generous with money, to be able to put it into their business, to start a business, whatever it is. People are saying this. And yet, the aura, the energy in their field that surrounds them is not broadcasting that. If you truly want to speed up manifestation, then you need to be walking around with an aura, an energy field that is large and expansive and filled with the messaging that I am wealth. I am literally the presence of wealth. Expansion is my natural state. I am truly a magnet for wealth. I am a walking frequency of wealth. And you walk through your day with this whole large, wide aura that is your baseline state. This is what will just say to the universe, because everything is energy. It will say, oh, she's open, she's ready, she's in alignment with this. Okay. And manifestation will happen almost as if, what? Where did that come from? I can tell you that women in my programs or who have worked with me privately have gotten pregnant in 2 weeks when they've been trying for years. They have received checks for $7,500 when they actually were so fearful they were going to have to pay money for a tax bill. They have wanted to live in a certain city and they tried for years to get a job somewhere, and all of a sudden they get a job in the exact city, working in the dream building that they wanted to work in. And not only that, but be offered an apartment in that building. And not only that, but the kitchen was exactly how she envisioned. I've had clients who never thought that financial freedom and passive income coming into their lives could be possible. Like, really? You think? To going out for tea in the middle of the afternoon and seeing on their phone, ping, ping, ping. The only thing that is slowing down your manifestation is that your aura is not broadcasting this, which is this alignment. And so that's what you got to work on. You've got to walk around visualizing, feeling. I mean, I say this to my teens too. You've got to walk around like you are an energetic being, because you are. Don't keep thinking you're so physical. Think of yourself as this energy field, and you're walking around and it is with you all the time, and it is expansive. It takes up space. It is beautiful. It is light. It is glowing. It is wealth and abundance, and it is a magnetic force. That's how you want to walk around. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty a little bit more about the third thing that is slowing down your manifestation. You need to get into full coherence with the identity that you want to be and live. Now, what does it mean to be in full coherence? Spoke about this in the last point a little bit, but the words that you're speaking, the feelings that you're feeling, the habits that you have, thoughts that you're thinking, the way you present yourself, the things you read, the things you watch, the places you go, everything must be as much. Doesn't have to be perfect, because this is not how this universe works. It's a tipping point. You have to have enough of a tipping point for the coherence to be your baseline frequency that you're walking around with, okay? So how do you start with this? You take a life audit and you look at, what are the magazines I'm buying? One of my biggest dreams was, I adore home interiors, and I always wanted to have a home that literally when I walked in felt, yes, this is me. This is exactly what I want. And I didn't have the finances to do that. But what I did every Saturday morning, I was a school teacher, and I would get out my new subscription. It was called the House and Home magazine in Canada. I would go through the pages, and if I'd see something like a doorknob, a window covering, a door, a bedding, a wallpaper, anything, the outside of a house, the colors, the paint, I would rip it out and I had this home folder. And it was like I was just creating my home. And I was creating this folder and it would make me feel so good. Now, this home was actually a Victorian home. I have always felt so in line with England and Victorian houses and what they look like. And I couldn't wrap my head around, how am I going to get a Victorian home? Maybe the universe will make me move to Toronto, because I know there were some Victorian style homes there. But I was like, yeah, but Toronto just doesn't feel like the right place. But I'm not going to let that stuff. Your job is not to get involved with the how. Yours is just to create clarity of what you want and then to get in coherence. Anyway, short story, the universe is magical. Not only did I move to England, but I moved into Windsor, which is where Queen Victoria loved living and who actually established Victorian housing, the row houses. And not only that, but I have the actual paper of the first sale of my house in 1887. I got to literally create my whole Victorian house, from all the doorknobs to all of the doors, to create my real Victorian house. You can also do this with your style. You can watch YouTube videos. You can look on Pinterest. You can buy magazines and create your own folder. You can hire a personal stylist for one day and just get them to put this look that you see in your head, but you just don't know how to put it together in real life. Do it. Picture this, right? You're walking around with this expansive energy that is coded, programmed with these messages. I'm a magnet for wealth. I am the essence of wealth. And then you're wearing a clothes that you look in the mirror and there's no dissonance. You see what you're feeling, what you see in your head, you see on the outside. This is something that you have actual control over. This is the easiest lever to pull. So take my advice and just do that. I did that as well. And I'm telling you, it makes a massive difference to your confidence and the energy that you are sending out and radiating in your aura. The other thing is, watch the words that you speak. This has to be in coherence, right? You never want to use words like, I can't afford it, or that's too expensive, or yeah, right, money doesn't grow on trees. If it's wanting to come up, you have to go into your masculine energy and use it as the bouncer. The bouncer is like, excuse me, we don't say those things. Those thoughts are limiting. That doesn't belong in this vessel. And so you'll change that into, I'm choosing not to get that right now, or I'm putting that on hold just for now. All of these have a total different frequency and energy. And you have to make sure that even though those want to come up, it's just because it's been trained that way. Your job is to use that masculine energy bouncer to retrain and rewire. So as you can see, the main thread through everything that I've talked about today is that everything is affected by energy. And you do not manifest based on what you want, what you beg the universe for, what you pray for, what you write affirmations for. You manifest what energetic frequency you are in harmony with. All you have to do is look in your current reality, which is a little bit hard to do sometimes, and be real with yourself. If you don't have what you want, it's simply information. You're not in harmony with the frequency of what you want. So the main thing is to get this aura working for you, to stop repelling it. And this is why I say that if you take an issue like wealth, and you heal it on the spiritual, the physical, the emotional, and the mental, And I have a very unique way of doing this because I've tried it, I've tested it. And if you want to learn how to do that, I have a link to the masterclass that I most recently did. You can get access to that, you can watch that and be trained on exactly my elegant self-healing method that will actually create this expansive aura that I keep talking about. All right, so if you've gotten to this point in the video, then please do send your favorite image of wealth. What does that wealth look like for you? Would it be a big star? Would it be a dollar bill? Would it be a bag of money? Would it be a heart? What is it? Put it in the comments below. I would love to see that. On that note, go out and make it an elegant, expansive week. And I will see you back here next week with more elegant wisdom so you finally are able to manifest every dream and desire that's been placed in your heart and wants to be revealed. See you next week.